Melanie Hinds, your fastest Iraqi DINAR summary on the net, and we talk all things wealth transfer on my channel, and you're one of God's favorites if you didn't know. So guys, please subscribe, tap the bell. We had a lot of articles this morning. It was so many, blew my mind. I literally had to take a nap. I ate some food to make me nap, and I napped. Visualize my goals, which is one of the secrets to manifestation that we're going to be talking about tonight at 5 p.m. So join us live. The link is already up. Here we go. We'll get right into the articles. I got a couple different sources to look for the articles because there was so much going on. So we not only had articles, but we had some personal I don't know what you call it, Sudani's website where there's less than 4,000 people on it, because he was on my video on Sunday, and then his PhD macroeconomist was on my live stream on Monday, and then there were several people that from Iraq that the guys know. The military guys who are now not anonymous. It's up in the air whether they've left or not. Some of our guys are obviously still there. They know some of those people that were on our live stream this morning. So we're getting renowned in that area. Why? Because of my background, because I'm not just some YouTuber that's an attractive female. I actually have a resume to back it up. Price Waterhouse offered the CFO position 3 times before the age of 32, and I'm a critical thinker. I think outside the box, and I've been studying Iraq for a long time. So here are the articles. Then he pointed out some articles I actually missed, and then we're gonna go to what everybody else has to say. So buckle up, Buttercup. So this is economic institutions. Central bank reforms boost investor confidence and open the way to global markets. They are talking about Iraq as if they're already global. They're saying that the central bank reforms is the one that boosted their way there and boosted investor confidence and to open the way to global markets. So we just have to wait when this revalues, because the central bank is already saying they're global. Rafidian Bank settlement of approximately 87% of external debt file has been completed. They're paying off debts. Why? Because they're preparing to have an A++ rating, right? Not like anything official, but they're being touted as, because they've done everything everybody's asked them to do. The next article, based on 3 pillars, the Investment Authority unveils a mechanism to establish a sustainable economic environment. What are those mechanisms? It's their systems. They're digital systems. The next article, oil announces significant progress in developing oil and gas platforms in the southern ports. Minister of Planning, the development path does not intersect with any other international project. Everybody's trying to figure out where it's going to be. There's a lot of jockeying for where the pipeline's going to be through Turkey, and rumor has it they're already flowing the oil. They've made deals. The oil's flowing. The salaries are being paid. It's all done. We're done. We're ready. It could be any moment, any day. The next article, the judiciary recovers $2 billion in a financial fraud. And it was I think it was a high up person, because you can't hide from this system. The next article, the Shiite endowment announces the completion of drafting of the Sharia rulings on personal status issues and its submission to Parliament. That is going on there, guys. They're passing whatever laws they need to. It's all good. The next article, the Minister of Interior calls for the establishment of a joint Arab mechanism for rapid intervention in the face of massive disasters. They have these pods, or these new homes that they said they can't even afford them. The guys on the ground. They're very impressive, the technology and how they've rebuilt things to over 100 of these units. Here it is. The Prime Minister announces the establishment of the Civil Defense Institute and the construction of 100 model units to be available in case of a crisis like fires. And I can just imagine what these units look like. Next article, Qasar port finalizes Turkish power ship hookup. There's a picture and the hookup. I shared that this morning. It's pretty cool, guys. They've had 3 ships in as many days. The next article, Al-Nazar Coalition de-Ba'athification law used for whimsical exclusions. That was an interesting article. It's very political. A representative from the former prime minister who did nothing for Iraq. And then we got this prime minister, Sudani, who's a rock star in Iraq. And he's the one paving the way for this to happen. He's the only reason why it can happen. And we are very proud of you, Prime Minister al-Sudani. Then Dr. Ban case resurfaces as 6 MPs issue recommendations. 6 MPs came against somebody that was committing some bad things. A Dr. Ban case. He was murdered. And so somebody that was high up is indicated in that, and they resurfaced the case so justice can be served, and everybody's very aware of what that means. We're not as much because we don't live there, but I'm just saying it is what it is. Justice is being served on a silver platter because of the transparent systems. It's all about the systems. Join us at 5. You'll enjoy it. You'll be enlightened about these digital transformation systems that are already in place in Iraq, and they are the standard for the world to be implemented, and they are being implemented here. Again, I got a letter from my bank that is just confirmation of what our banks are doing. And I'm sure you're seeing changes at your bank level. You got to admit it. You're seeing changes in your local towns, haven't you? I know you have. Everybody has. Even the local credit unions have seen changes. They're going digital. Nothing to be afraid of, by the way. Next article, Pentagon to Shafak News. Iraq combat role ends, bases repurposed. And I've got some intel that goes in the other people's category about that. And then we're going to find out tonight, because hopefully they'll join us tonight and we can ask questions, clarify things with the military there. Next article, Al-Wali, all ports operate with automation and governance, and the establishment of security in Iraq has increased international trade. Again, because of the establishment of automation and governance and security, increased international trade. The writing is on the wall. You can read through the articles. I've seen the truth, and the truth will make you free. Only the truth makes you free. I was on the fence whether to do this because I've been feeling kind of tired, but after my nap, I figured I got to do this. So let's hear what everybody else says. Also, those articles that were, I know what I wanted to do. The articles that were screenshots of Sudani's private chats that we got access to. I'll just read you some of the titles. And if you want to see more of those, we can maybe pull those up for you tonight at 5, but maybe not. I'm not sure, because we're going to be celebrating and we're going to be celebrating and actually manifesting. I'm going to teach you how you have a lot more power than you've ever thought. So now we go to the screenshots. Let's see. Screenshots, Sudani chair's 34th session. It was 3:11 in the morning. There was a Sudani attends tax conference. They're doing low interest loans. Iraq is moving towards unifying tax reform and digital monitoring solutions. Picture of the new system. That was at 3:11 a.m. I showed that at 2 hours on my live stream. You can look at the screenshots. You can look at the timestamps for all these things. Sudani affirms the need to stay up to date on border security. We have no idea how good the border is, but he toured the system. And you should have seen it. I showed you pictures of it. The need to deliver oil immediately. Guys, everything is just ready to go. Now let's go and see what the other people are saying, because you should listen to everybody. I do the intel sources so you don't have to listen to everybody. I kind of do it for you. I do all the work for you. And likewise, after my break and I got a snack, got some food going in me, I listened to a call from TNT Tony and Ray Ren 98, who I listened to years ago. They are saying that Trump got paid, not Trump, the U.S. Treasury got paid. It was funny. You have to listen to them. I think he's funny, and I get that I'm not the only one dealing with people that lie, cheat, and steal, try to steal their intel, pass it off as their own. He was talking about some people on YouTube that were doing that to him, and it was not me. He never once referred to a female. That's my first clue. But it was funny. So some of my notes were, he wanted to know whether Trump got paid or the USA got paid because they pulled out their troops. Remember, Trump says they need to pay us for our supports. And he wanted to be paid. And we all know how he's getting paid. So he pulled the troops out. So that must mean he knows he's getting paid. So that means they're releasing that's Tuck rolling around on his back. Because my dog's, it's the happiest place to live is our household. And then Trump pulled out the soldiers. Some are in Kuwait, some are in Syria. Some soldiers have called to say, I'll be home before the end of the week. Some are redeploying to Kuwait and Syria. We know some of those people. We are praying for some of those people. Some are at the U.S. Embassy in Kuwait, which makes sense. Evidently, it's the biggest embassy. It's in the Kurdistan region. It's not in Kuwait, sorry. I don't think it's in Kuwait. I think it was in Kurdistan. I don't know. Is the embassy? I think the embassy's in Kurdistan. But some of our people have been redeployed to Syria and Kuwait. And then he went into questions, and that's where I kind of bowed out. So that was TNT's intel today. Jeff guru, all of the steps of the global financial integration is also happening around the same time that we're pulling the troops out. We're going to have the troops pulled out from all federal government level bases in areas like the Green Zone in Baghdad permanently on September 15th. The bases will be vacated. That is United States repositioning for Iraq to revalue or for them to get paid for all their service. I'm going to pass that over. That's Fun Lou. I talked about him in the last one. He's a little... Militiaman, after 20 years, the architects of the plan have got to a place where they're publicly telling you integration into the global financial system is imminent, or actually, I believe they're saying it's already done. I don't know what day it's going to be, or what it's completely mean. It's not their job to tell us specifically. They have to keep very tight-chested, and they have. Nader from the Middle East, this week is going to be a lot of good news. You're going to be so happy. You're going to be, wow, what's going on? This week, they're going to tell you a lot about the digital system. This week, you're going to hear a lot about the exchange rate. You're going to see a lot of articles about the exchange rate. That started last week already, and it's not going to stop because they really want to change. They really want to be competitive with other countries, so they are pushing forward towards this. Frank 26, Firefly, for many years, they kept telling people to bring in the notes into the banks, but nobody trusted the banks in Iraq. They had bank cards printed for every Iraqi citizen, over 18 million cards so far. These cards, people are using them to make payments for everything. The amount of money being hoarded, the 3-0 mattresses, is probably way lower now because people are bringing in their zero notes to put on their cards so they can use their cards. Frank said it's brilliant. In my team's opinion, they're touching 90% collected. That's why I feel strongly we're in the position right now to introduce a new exchange rate. Mark Z says, did you hear anything from bondholders? Mark Z said, they are still telling me not to share. Do I think things are well underway? I do. Some have disappeared and are off spending money. They are very upbeat about us and currency going soon. Even groups are upbeat about us going soon, but no one will give any specifics, but they are all happy and giddy. I love that. And I think that's enough for today, guys. It's 11 minutes and 42 seconds. I try to keep this like a quick summary. If you appreciate these quick summaries, give me some appreciation down below. Oh, and then the other thing is, he said you missed some good stuff, LOL. The 91 new ambassadors is one. They have 91 new ambassadors. They came to agreements. Syria going digital is good for the Middle East. Syria's going digital. Oh, who's been saying that for like the last... I don't know how long I've been saying it. I said it was in Iraq, then it's in Turkey, now it's in Syria. And I think that was why they relieved the sanctions a long time ago or earlier in this year. And I said it's because of their new system. Iraq, now it says Syria is going digital. I don't need to read it. I've been prophesying it. I've been decreeing and declaring it. And whatever you decree and declare happens. This Iraqi dinar revaluation is done. If you agree with me that the Iraqi dinar is done, it is done, and it's making our way to us right now, say amen down below, because that's how you manifest as a child of God. If you want to hear more about that, join me at 5. I'll tell you all the miracles I've already manifested in my life, and I hope to see you there. Bye.